Shalom. Shalom. There we go. Good to go. Good to go. Shalom out there. Bear with me 1 second. All right.
Many of us are under surveillance at this very moment. No warrants are needed and no laws are broken. The most obvious culprit is all the cameras, and America has as many surveillance cameras per person as communist China. Police departments from New York to LA are combining these cameras with facial recognition technology to track everyone. You're also giving away your personal information about where you are, what you like, even about your mental health, without even realizing it. Every click, purchase, and like is harvested and sold for profit by data brokers, feeding a growing digital advertising market that is close to $1 trillion in value. Even your car tire sensors allow you to be tracked. Byron Tao is the author of Means of Control.
A lot of that data ends up in the hands of data brokers, and those data brokers make that data available for sale to researchers, to marketers, to companies, and even to governments. So it's very, very difficult to escape the kind of logging and surveillance that modern technology brings along with it.
It's being called surveillance capitalism.
The internet is now a prison. It's a surveillance prison. It is owned and operated by private capital.
They want access to our contacts. They want access to our calendars. Well, lots of app developers take that information and they suck it up. They vacuum it up. They know who your friends are. They know where you go. So that kind of information is available for sale.
Your data is also being sold to the police and the federal government. A product called Fog Reveal allows police to create what are called patterns of life on a person and to possibly track them without a warrant. The government is also continuing to use a backdoor in the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, or FISA, to spy on Americans, which is supposed to be illegal. But what really bothers Dave Moss, the director of investigations at the Electronic Frontier Foundation, are all the license plate readers used by police.
This is one of the most pernicious and offensive technologies in the United States. It is misrepresented to the public in such a way that people think it's doing one thing when it's actually doing another. So for your audience, license plate readers are cameras that take a picture of your car and digitize the license plate as well as other elements to it, your bumper sticker, the color, make, model, year, whether you have damage to your vehicle, and uploads that to a central database along with where your car was seen and when. So a police officer can sit down at a computer and type in your license plate and see everywhere across the country that your vehicle was caught on camera, sometimes going back years and years and years.
The license plate reader went off on it and said it was a driver's license restraint. So it looks like on here, so she has a suspended driver's license.
That can be on any screen on the computer, and if it hits on a license plate, it'll pop up.
It doesn't matter whether you are tied to a crime or not, they're capturing it on everyone. And that allows them to track you in real time. They can add you to a watch list and just watch you and get alerts every time you pass the camera.
A Duke University study found that data brokers are also selling lists of people with depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, and PTSD, all harvested from medical apps and websites. Constitutional attorney John Whitehead says this is all a clear violation of the Constitution's ban on unreasonable searches and seizures.
The Fourth Amendment's dead because on their phones and their laptops, they have all this information on you. It's called predictive policing. And they're watching everything people are doing.
There have been some ingenious attempts to thwart facial recognition. However, none of these work. The surveillance of Americans is an issue that should unite both the political right and left, because we're all losing an important constitutional protection.
If you care about something, then you should be worried about surveillance. I don't care what the issue is that you care about. It could be gun rights. It could be the rights of Palestinians. If you care about something, surveillance is going to harm your rights.
We asked the FBI if it's still buying the data of Americans. It did not respond. The question is, can Americans roll back the surveillance state when data harvesting is now such a large part of the economy and so little is being done to stop it? The issue has been raised on Capitol Hill, but a new law this year only protects Americans' data from being sold to some foreign governments. Tao says consumers need to realize that most of the apps on their phone are trying to gather data to be sold. Beware of granting apps location permissions. Use only encrypted messaging services and search engines that promise not to track you. You can also delete your phone's advertising ID, which can be used to track your habits and movements. And you can buy services that remove your data from the marketplace. For there to be any fundamental return to privacy in America, however, experts say Americans are going to have to demand more change from Washington. Dale Hurd, CBN News.
All right, Shalom. Shalom, shalom. Before I get started with this live lesson, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Double salutations to all you Akim out the labor in the house of David, the elect, that's pushing this word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom to you, brothers, and shalom to the elect. Back at you with another live lesson through the Holy Spirit. The Rakakwadash. Pray that this lesson is edifying to the hopeful elect, you sincere believers in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, this is News and Prophecy. Welcome to the fourth industrial revolution. All right, and the Spirit has been speaking on this topic in particular really heavy, because this means that we are at the end of the world, man. This represents the end of the world right here. All right, as Esau thinks that he's going to rule over humanity with AI, and you have the surveillance state, this beast system or whatnot. All of this is getting ready to come to an end, soon to come, and Yahweh Shai is coming to destroy all of this. So we're at the, if you will, we're like at the peak, the climax of the Edomite hegemony, man. All right, and we're gonna come back to this, but let's read this real quick. All right, which I thought was pretty funny. Right, so it says here in this article from the Washington Post, right? It says Google drops pledge not to use AI for weapons or surveillance, right? So we know that's bullshit, because everything we saw in the first video that was played here, it showed us that we are in that we are in the midst of that beast system, that surveillance state, man. Everything is being watched, tracked, all right, from your cell phone usage to your license plate. Everything that you do in this society is being tracked, monitored, documented. All right, so there's no escape, you see. But it says Google drops pledge not to use AI for weapons or surveillance. All right, it says, reading on a little bit, it says Google on Tuesday updated its ethical guidelines around artificial intelligence, removing commitments not to apply the technology to weapons or surveillance. But as we saw in the first video, that's already here. All right. As a matter of fact, let me get the scripture too. Just thinking out loud. Right. Psalm 55. This is Psalms 55 and verse 21. And it reads, it says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart, man. All right. So they're telling you they're not going to use the AI for weaponization and surveillance, but it's already been established. We're in the midst of this thing right now. All right. Just to show you that this man is a liar. It says the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. All right. Because pretty much you know, this AI, this artificial intelligence is like, it's been likened unto a god, man. And we're going to get into that, you know, in the main part of this lesson in a minute. All right. Because I got a couple of videos that I wanted to play. All right. But reading it again, Psalms 55:21, it says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. All right. So Esau is ready to pretty much fully implement this thing. All right. It says, cast thy burden upon the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. Right. And this is the time that we're going to have ultimate faith, as brothers have been going into, man. All right. This shit is about to get real wild, real crazy, man. Real draconian soon to come. All right. This technology is pretty much taking over now. You know, it says, but thou, last verse, but thou, O power, shall bring them down into the pit of destruction. All right. Because, hey, we, at the height of this technology, we are at the end of Esau's rule. Believe that. Understand that. But thou, O power, shall bring them down into the pit of destruction. Bloody and deceitful men should not live out half their days, but I will trust in thee. Right. And this is the time we in, man. All right. Esau thinks that he got it, you know, but it's all going to come to no avail. Right. But let's go back to the article real quick. Just read a little bit more just to show you the hypocrisy. All right. Based off the first video we just watched and what this article is saying. Right. It says the company's AI principles previously included a section listing 4 applications we will not pursue. As recently as Thursday, that included weapons, surveillance, technologies that quote, cause or are likely to cause overall harm, and use cases of contravening principles of international law and human rights, according to a copy hosted by the Internet Archive. Let's jump down. See what else we can take from it. So it says here, there's a global competition taking place for AI leadership within an increasingly complex geopolitical landscape. All right, because remember, as we brought out before in previous lessons, that all these nations are on board, all right, for this beast system, right? It says, we believe democracy should lead in AI development, guided by core values like freedom, equality, and respect for human rights, which is total bullshit. All right. This AI is going to be used to enslave humanity. Right. It says, Hassabis and Mayanka wrote, it says, we believe that the companies, governments, and organizations sharing these values should work together to create AI that protects people, promotes global growth, and supports national security. All right. Let's get one more. All right. That's it. Is that the order? Okay. Salakia. Let's see what else. Anything we want to read? It says, artificial intelligence, robotics, and related technologies are increasingly important to the U.S. military, he said, and the U.S. government has worked with tech companies to understand how such technology can be used responsibly. You know, and this is what we just read. You know, his words are smoother than butter, man. Right. But this whole thing is set up to enslave the world, to oppress humanity, man. All right. This technocracy that we see, man, this 4th industrial revolution. It says, quote, it makes sense that Google has updated its policy to reflect the new reality, Horowitz said, and the rest reads on. All right. So anyway, just wanted to briefly read that, man, just to show you the hypocrisy of these devils. But anyway, I want to get into this. All right. Let's read a little bit of this as well. All right. Back in this article here, it says, AI changes the world. Welcome to the 4th industrial revolution. All right. We're here, folks. All right. It says, explore the groundbreaking innovations of AI, quantum computing, Internet of Things, and more as they drive the 4th industrial revolution, reshaping global industries, economies, and society. All right. The change is here. All right. I just want to jump down. So it says, what is artificial intelligence? It says AI is a branch of computer science focused on creating machines capable of mimicking human intelligence. These systems can perform tasks such as learning, reasoning, problem solving, and decision making, often surpassing human capabilities in specific domains. All right, which they've announced plenty of times that this AI has, surpassed human intelligence, right? And that's the time we in too, right? Let me get that. Right, this is Daniel chapter 12, verse 1, and we're going to jump down to verse 4. But I want to read verse 1 here. Daniel 12 and 1, it says, "And at that time Michael shall stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, and there should be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time." So what's getting ready to come is going to be unheard of, man. And that time is here. All right, this fourth industrial revolution, this beast system, this global surveillance. All right, we're in that time of the devil's great wrath, man. All right, it says there was Salaki. It says, and at that time, thy people shall be delivered, everyone that should be found written in the book, which is dealing with the elect. Right, verse 4. The point. Daniel 12 and 4 says, "But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book even to the time of the end." All right, we are at the time of the end. All right, this fourth industrial revolution represents the time of the end. Okay, even to the time of the end, many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. And this is what we're reading in this article here. Right, let's go back to it. Right, it says, core AI technology, machine learning, natural language processing, computer vision, robotics. All right. It says the fourth industrial revolution, a new era. It says the fourth industrial revolution is characterized by the integration of advanced technologies. All right. As we read in Daniel 12 and 4, that knowledge shall increase. All right. It says such as AI, the Internet of Things, quantum computing, blockchain, and biotechnology. Unlike previous revolutions, which advance at a linear pace, this revolution is evolving exponentially, driving rapid disruption across industries and societies, right? Knowledge shall increase. Key futures, interconnectivity. It says smart factories, workforce transformation, which I got a video with Bill Gates speaking on that. It says, and under that, it says automation and AI are reshaping the job market, eliminating some roles while creating new opportunities. It says global impact. Industry 4.0 is reaching every corner of the globe, raising incomes and improving quality of life, but also presenting challenges in privacy, security, and ethics. And this is the main point right here. All right, because your rights, your so-called freedom and sovereignty is about to be taken away, man. All right, you're going to be permanently tracked and monitored, man, and that's where that CHIP comes into play, man. Okay, the what was it called? The I can't think of the name. It just left me. Basically the digital currency. All right, the blockchain. There we go. The blockchain and all of that. Right, it's all leading to that chip. Let's read a little bit more. Technologies driving fourth industrial revolution. It says we are now witnessing the fourth industrial revolution driving by AI, Internet of Things, blockchain, quantum computing, and biotechnology. These technologies are fusing the physical and digital worlds, creating new economic paradigms and societal shifts, right? So we're here, right? Habakkuk 2 and 1, and it reads, it says, "And I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what shall I answer when I am reproved?" Verse 2, "And the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, answered me and said, Write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth." And this is what we're doing through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. That's why these videos keep going out about the chip, about the fourth industrial revolution, the AI, the beast system. All right, this digital renaissance is the Dallas Brothers went into. All right, because this is a key part of prophecy here, which determines the end of this world. Okay, so these things are being made plain unto the believers, man. All right, this is what you're supposed to be talking about right now, man. You claim to be a prophet, a teacher. You're supposed to be breaking this down, right? It says, verse 3, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak. Are we not at the end? You see? But at the end it shall speak and not lie. Hey, this beast system is speaking loud and clear, man. This technocracy. But at the end it shall speak and not lie, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. And look how things are rapidly moving, man. All right, this chip is gonna be here in no time, man. They got Elon Musk, in the treasury, they're cutting programs and different things like that. It's all in the news. You can look all this up, man. But we know in due time that charagma is gonna be forwarded, man. All right, we see it. Anyway, a little bit more on this read here, right? So yeah, artificial intelligence, quantum computing, Internet of Things, blockchain, renewable energy, and sustainability. And it says the global impact of the fourth industrial revolution, economic transformation, all right, which we're in that time. It says workforce evolution, education and skill development, societal shifts and ethical considerations, so on and so forth, right? Which you can read. We're not going to go through this whole thing. It's a long article, right? But I do want to get to the point so you get it. All right, there's no denying this thing. So anyway, because I got this video here from Glenn Beck about 4 or 5 months ago, but this is one of his recent articles here. All right, AI, global power, and the end of human jobs. Are we ready? Right? Check this out. Bill Gates says humans won't be needed for most things. Listen to this.
Everyone's talking about AI, and that's the big topic. Everyone's like, how's it going to take over, and all this stuff, and it's bad or it's good, or we don't know. What are the pros and cons for, in layman's terms, for someone like me?
Yeah, so the era we've come to is sort of the vision, and it's kind of profound because it solves all these specific problems, like we don't have enough doctors or mental health professionals, but it brings with it kind of so much change. What will jobs be like? Should we just work like 2 or 3 days a week? So I love the way it'll drive innovation forward, but I think it's a little bit unknown.
Yeah.
Will we be able to shape this? Will be basically solve problems.
Yeah.
Man, you see, this is going to be straight up hell on earth, man. Right? And these devils are proud. Like the scriptures say, they boast in that oppression, right? Let me get that. Psalm 73. And this is Psalm 73 in verse 7, right? It says their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than a heart could wish, right? Because the whole world is in the hand of Esau, man. Right? And now it's to the point where he wants your soul. He wants the very essence of you, man. You see, it says they are corrupt, right? And speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak lawfully, man. These devils are proud, man. All right. The climate change narrative, and how we got to get rid of the cows and the chickens, and lab created food is the way to go. And, all the madness that you can read about concerning this technology, man, and this era that we live in right now. All right. These devils are ready, man. Right. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak lawfully. They set their mouth against the heavens, and their tongue walketh through the earth. And he does that through these policies, man, these decrees. All right. We just came from the was about a few weeks ago, the meeting in Davos. All right. You had all the world's elites out there in Switzerland, basically discussing what was being brought out in this lesson here, this fourth industrial revolution, this beast system. You see what I'm saying? It says, verse 10, it says, therefore his people return hither, and the waters of a full cup are wrung out to them. It says, and they say, how doeth the Most High know? And is there any knowledge in the Most High? Behold, these are the ungodly. Salakia, these are the ungodly who prosper in the world, they increase in riches, right? Because we live in a what's the word called? The oligarchy, all right? You know, Trump and these billionaires, all right, that are pretty much running America right now, man. And it's always been that way, but now it's just it's out there in the forefront. All right. Now the rich, they have the power. You know, they're in the power seat now, man. And they're getting ready to forward this system that we're talking about, man. All right, where they're talking about they don't even need humans no more, man. All right, robotics, things like that. AI has been likened unto a god, right? Which we're going to get into that, man. So this, like I said, this is going to get completely chaotic, right? But as I said before we go to the video, all right, this is the fullness of his sufficiency that we're looking at here, right? Job 20 and 22. And it reads, it says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. All right. And this is where we at. This is why we said we're at the peak of this man's power. All right. The transition to AI, the beast system, this technocracy. But in due time, he's going to be destroyed, man. It says every hand of the wicked shall come upon him when he is about to fill his belly. Is that not the case right now? Right? When he's about to fill his belly, Yahweh Shemel Rashai shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and he shall rain it upon him while he is eating. See? He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. All right? That's going back to the missiles, man. All right? Nuclear destruction is going to consume this man. It says, it is drawn and cometh out of the body, yea, the glittering sword cometh out of his gall. Terrors are upon him. See that? And I want to read this real quick as I always go into the commentary of this verse, right? Real quick. Job 20 and 22. Where is it at? Real quick. Bear with me. Yeah. Here we go. It says right here. Let me make it a little bigger. So it says, in the midst of his plenty, he will be distressed. It says this phrase highlights the transit nature of wealth and prosperity. All right. It says in the biblical context, Job's friends, including Zophar, who speaks in this chapter, often equate material wealth and divine favor and suffering with divine punishment. You see that? And that's what's getting ready to happen because he's at the peak of his power. Right. But he's getting ready to be in straits. It says, however, this statement challenges the notion by suggesting even in abundance, one can experience distress. It says this reflects the broader biblical theme that true security and peace comes from God and not material possessions. Right. And see, Esau, because he has, he's been blessed with the wealth, the fatness of the earth, this technology. All right. He's in his security. Right. He thinks that he's getting ready to rule the world in this fashion. But that's not going to be so. Right. It says here, right, it says the full force of misery will come upon him. It says the part of this verse emphasizes the inevitability and completeness of the suffering that will befall the wicked. See? In the context of Job, so far is asserting that those who seem prosperous but are unrighteous will ultimately face divine retribution. You see that? That's why this is so heavy. Right? And you got Trump, the 500 billion, the AI infrastructure, the Stargate and all of that, right? They think they got it, man, but they're about to face divine retribution from Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. That's how you know how close we are. This is why, I'm making mention of this because we are very close to the end of this shit, man. Right? So let's get into this video real quick. Right? Just wanted to point that out. Right? So it's about 4 or 5 months ago. This is Glenn Beck. It says, Elon Musk advisor, are we sleepwalking into a AI takeover? Right? Let's get into that a little bit.
My next guest is sounding the alarm on the catastrophic risks posed by AI. from totalitarianism to bioengineered pandemics to a total takeover of mankind. When you think about the things that we could be facing, it doesn't look real good for the human race. But it's not too late to turn the ship around and harness the power of AI to serve our interests. But if we don't, well, I'll let him tell you what happens. Welcome to the podcast, the executive director at the Center for AI Safety and an advisor for Elon Musk's xAI, Dan Hendricks. But first, let me tell you about Preborn, our sponsor. We're going to be talking, or you can go to preborn.com/Glenn.
So let's just pass.
Dan, welcome.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm thrilled that you're on. I have been thinking about AI since I read The Age of Spiritual Machines by Ray Kurzweil, and that so fascinated me. And later I had a chance to talk to Ray, and he's fascinating and terrifying, I think, at the same time. Because I don't see a lot of people in your role. Can you explain what you do within the what you founded and what you do?
Yeah, so I'm the director of the Center for AI Safety. We focus on research and trying to get other people to research and think about risks from AI. And we also help with policy to try and suggest policy interventions that'll help reduce risks from AI. Outside of that, I also advise Elon Musk's AGI company, xAI, as their sole safety advisor. So I'll wear a variety of hats. There's a lot to do in AI risk. So research and policy advising are the main things I work on.
So how many heads of AI projects are concerned and are not lost in I'm going to speak to God? This drive that a lot of them have to create something and be the first to create it. How many of them can balance that with, well, maybe we shouldn't do X, Y, and Z?
I think that a lot of the people who got into this were concerned about risks from AI, but they also have another constraint, which is that they want to make sure that they're at the forefront and competitive. Because if they take something like safety much more seriously or slow down or proceed more cautiously, they'll end up falling behind. So although they would all like there to be more safety and for this to slow down, or most of them, it's not an actual possibility for them.
Yeah, hey, you see, hey, this shit, this is no joke, man. All right. Hey, these Edomites are telling you, man, this shit is about to take over. Right? Once again, which signifies what? The end of this world. Right? This is 2 Esdras 9:4. It says, and it reads, it says, then shall thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Verse 5, it says, like all that is made in the world have a beginning and the end is manifest. You see, this fourth industrial revolution, this AI, and they keep talking about the risk of artificial intelligence. This is the end. Okay, this thing is what's the word? The AGI, what's it called? This thing is sentient, man. It's surpassed the minds of human beings. All right, like he said earlier, the spiritual machines. All right, this is demonic technology, man. This is the end. Verse 6, for even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonder and powerful works and endings and effects and signs. So what we're seeing, this transition of this fourth industrial revolution, this is part of the endings and effects and signs. All right, this is what the Lord is showing you, that look, this is the end of the world here. right? It says, verse 7, and everyone that shall be saved shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye believed shall be preserved from the said pearls, right? The destruction, man, the evils that are coming, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders, for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. All right, dealing with the elect. All right. Verse 9, it says, then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments, right? Let's go back.
So I think that I think that
wait, can
overall,
we-
even though they have good intentions, it doesn't matter, unfortunately.
Right. So let me play that out a bit. You know, Putin has said whoever gets AI first will control the world. I believe that to be true. So the United States can't slow down because China is going to be, you know, they're pursuing it as fast as they can. And they, you know, I'm not sure. I don't want them to be the first one with AI. It might be a little spookier. So is there any way to actually slow down?
Well, we could possibly slow down if we had more control over the chips. That
real quick, hey, that's the spirit. There is no slowing down, right? This is the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, Matthew 24, right? There's no slowing down. Matthew 24 in verse 21, it says that for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. The point, verse 22, and except those days should be shortened, right? So, hey, it's not this technology, everything we're seeing with the AI, the AGI, is not going to slow down. All right, these things are being sped up, all right, because the Lord is he's shortening the days, man. All right, the end is nearer than what we believe. Except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, right? Because as I said before, if this devil had his way, all right, he would try to chip everybody, man. People would be merged with machines and shit. This nanotechnology, humanity would be destroyed. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be short. This is why it's not going to slow down. This is why, hey, as this thing gets more advanced, all right, the end is just going to draw even more closer. All right, so that's the spirit.
these AI systems run on. So basically, right now there are export controls to make sure that the high-end chips that these AIs run on don't go to China, but they end up going to China anyway. They're smuggled left and right. And if they were actually better constrained and we had better export controls, then that would make China substantially less competitive. Then we would be out of this pernicious dynamic of we all want safety, but you got to do what you got to do, and we got to be really competitive and keep racing forward. So I think chips might be a way of making us not be in that desperate situation.
Are those chips made in Taiwan or here?
The chips are made in Taiwan. However, most of the ingredients that go into those chips are made in the U.S. and made among NATO allies. So about 90% of those are in the U.S. and NATO allies. So we have a lot of influence over the chips, fortunately.
Okay, but if Taiwan is taken by China, we lose we can't make those chips. That's the highest end chip manufacturers, right? And China will have that. So what does that mean for us?
It seems plausible that actually if China were invading Taiwan, that the place that makes those chips would actually just be destroyed before they would fully take it.
Okay.
So that would put us on more of an even playing field.
Okay. So, I've been talking about this for 25, 30 years, and, it's always been over the horizon, and I could never get people to understand, no, you've got to think about ethical questions right now. Like, what is life? What is personhood? All of these things. And now it's just kind of like the iPhone. It just happened, and it's going to change us. And it hasn't even started yet, and it's amazing. I go online now, I don't know what's real or not. I mean, I found myself this week, being on X or on Instagram and looking and saying, I don't, is that a real person? Is that a real video? Is that a real photo? You have no idea.
This big mistake.
Yeah, and that's part of his power, that deception. Let's let this pass. And like he was saying, this AI is so crucial, man. Like, you got to be real careful with the content that's out there. These deep fakes, these videos, right? Because that's going to be used as a snare. We've been saying the same thing.
Yeah,
and we've just begun.
Yeah. It's I think that's a concern where we don't have really great ways to reliably detect whether something is fake or not. And this could end up affecting our collective understanding of things. I think another concern are AI companies biasing their outputs. So people are wanting to do things about safety, but it creates a vacuum of, we got to do something about it. And what takes its place is some culture war type of things, as I think we saw with Google Gemini, when you'd ask it to generate an image of George Washington, then it'll output, it'll make him look black to make it, because its image outputs need to be diverse.
Right.
That I think is one reason why Elon Musk's through his company XAI is getting in the arena and now has a pretty competitive AI system, so as to try and change the norm so that other big tech companies, when they're sort of biasing their outputs, there are alternatives. So that we're all not all locked into whatever some random people in San Francisco decide are the values of AI systems.
Yeah, it's really difficult because you can see the bias. It's quite clear, the bias, especially if you know history or you follow the news as closely as I do. But the average person won't see that. I look at AI as like any technology, a tremendous blessing and a horrible curse. But this one has the potential of enslaving all of us, doesn't it?
Yeah, hey, that's what we've been telling y'all. All right, this shit is about to take over. This is welcome to the 4th Industrial Revolution, man. All right, real quick. I was thinking about Isaiah 19. Isaiah 19 and verse 4. Right? Familiar spirit. Matter of fact, we'll start at 3. Isaiah 19:3, and it reads, it says, "And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof. And they shall seek the idols, into the charmers, into them that have familiar spirits, into the wizards," man. And you could tie that into this sorcery, man, this AI shit, man. It says, "And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai." And really, this is the left hand. All right, going back to the elites of Esau, and they're going to use this AI, all right, to rule and oppress the people, man. As we saw in the beginning of this video, the global surveillance, man, how everything is monitored and tracked. And it's going to be the same way when they get rid of the money, when they crash the economy and they implement that chip. All right, buying and selling is going to have a whole nother meaning, man. All right, so hey, this thing is right here in your face, man. All right, and this thing is being made plain unto you, right?
I think at least I want to at least distinguish between the systems right now. The systems right now.
Yeah. I mean, in the potential. Yeah, what's coming?
Oh, sure. I mean, when it's as capable as humans and when they have robotic bodies and things like that, I mean, there's basically no limits to what they could do. And it really matters how people are using them, what instructions are given. Are they given to cement a particular, government's power? Are they used by non-state actors for terrorism? All of these things could lead to societal scale risks which
that's what's going to happen. All right, this AI is about to turn society upside down.
could include some sort of unshakable totalitarian regime enabled by AI, or unseen acts of terror. So I think we're at the same time, a silver lining is maybe if it all goes well, we get automation of things and we don't have to work as much or at all.
Right.
Hey, you've been warned. You just heard what Bill Gates said. They don't even need humans no more. Right?
Right.
So it's really divergent paths.
Right. Which do you think is more likely?
I think overall it's more likely that we end up ceding more and more control to AI systems, and we can't really make decisions without them, become extremely dependent on them. I would also guess that some people would give them various rights in the farther future, and this will make it be the case that we don't control them, or all of them. So I'm not too optimistic for us overall. There's still a lot of ways this could go. If we said we're on Team Human, we need to come together as a species and handle it, we're in a different situation. But so for instance, if there were a catastrophe, then we might actually take this much more seriously. Otherwise, we might just sleepwalk into something and have the frog boil.
What would be
Are you paying attention to what he's saying? All right, this is Elon Musk's advisor. You see? And we all know that catastrophe is coming. All right? The prophecies, man. Evils and only evils are coming, man. Ezekiel the 7th chapter. You see? So this is what we're waiting on. This is what we're prepared for, man. Something is going to happen that's going to be major, man, which is going to totally shift the society as we know it. Right?
So
what would be a catastrophe that could happen in the relative near future that would wake us up, that wouldn't destroy us?
Yeah. So I think one possibility, maybe say 2 to 3 years from now, is somebody instructs an AI agent to go hack the critical infrastructure being like the power grid. And so they could take that down or potentially destroy components of that.
And they've been talking about this. Salaki, to keep cutting it off, but this is everything they've been saying this for years. All right, that the infrastructure was vulnerable, cyber attacks, all right, blackouts, fucking planes falling out the sky, right? All these things that we're seeing happening now, man, right? Lights out, man. You see? A time like no other, Jake.
And this would make us wake up. This would make the military wake up even more than they are now. And we might start to take this a lot more seriously because it starts disrupting our everyday life in a much more substantial way than just making the internet, be more confusing. So I think that's the most likely short-term one. Seems more likely at this point. Seems more likely than not to happen because our critical infrastructure just is very insecure.
So I know what I would have said 30 years ago, that I trust a company to have it. I don't trust companies anymore, and I don't trust the government anymore. Who should have this?
I think by default, maybe there's a question of what are the possible outcomes. There's Western companies leading the way. There's the military basically takes it over, or maybe it's the Department of Energy, but then they're still, bossed around by the military.
Right.
Or it's a large international project, between the NATO allies. I think all of them have some difficulties. I think that the AI companies have a much higher risk tolerance because they were initially startups. Their founders are really into risk and they're in it to win it. If it's the military, you are concentrating most of the lethal power in the force with all of the potential economic power in the world. Basically, nearly all the power is in one organization. If it's an international, say G7 or US plus NATO ally coalition, I don't know, maybe that would have some nicer properties, but that seems pretty difficult to pull off. Maybe it's possible because we depend on them for a lot of the chip precursors and they depend on us. So it might make sense for them to collaborate. But then you are starting to run into risks of, you're talking more of a potentially global regime, which is also scary in its own right. So it's a lot of power. I wish we had just more time to think through this and plan and proceed more slowly, because I don't see many good options. And I see a lot of pretty basic risks that we'll walk into, such as our critical infrastructure being attacked by some AIs. It's
man, heavy, man. Yeah, you've been warned. Let me get a quick scripture, and we'll play a little bit more. It's about a 58-minute video. We're not going to play the whole thing, of course, right? But it's like, hey, this thing is just being made plain to you, man. It's like, what else can we say at this point, right? Ezekiel 7 in verse 5, it says, thus saith the Lord power, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and evil and only evil, behold, is come. The end, it says, an end is come, the end is come, it watcheth for thee, behold, it is come, all right? So we're listening to what this Edomite is saying, man. How the infrastructure is vulnerable for some type of AI to bring some type of cyber attack or whatever, to hit the power grid. Okay, it's going to come. It says, the morning is come unto thee, all thou dwellest in the land, the time is come, the day of trouble is near, and not the sounding again of the mountains. See, let's play a little bit more. We'll wrap it up, right? Just wanted to hit those main points. All right. Bear with me. Let me let this commercial pass.
A good situation.
Right now, just Google. If Google says that's what it is, you're not convincing anybody that no, Google's wrong. You're not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
If you, with AI, when we go down the road and we have virtual assistants that know you, really know everything about you, know how you think, your wants, your needs, and everything else, and it's constantly with you, it's going to see you have a bad day or you're really stressed out, and it's going to know you should, take some time off because that's what you're feeling. I got to get away from here. And it will come to you and say, hey, I know you've been having a bad week. I've cleared your schedule for the weekend and I set you up at your favorite hotel. We got a great price on it. You can afford it. It's going to be in Hawaii. You just have to be at the airplane at such and such time. When that happens, it really depends. It really is important on who's making money on that. Are you won't, if it's giving you options and it is making money for somebody, that's really dangerous, because the other thing is you'll get to a point where people will bond with these things that they will defend them to their last breath, and they will claim that they're human and they're friends. And it's a really scary doorway that we are just about to go through.
Real quick, was that 2 Thessalonians? Right? This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. Right? 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 9, it says, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power, signs, and lying wonders. Yeah, this is this AI, this technology, everything that's being discussed here, man. This is the power of Satan, man. All right. And many are gonna fall victim to it. Right? Like he was saying, verse 10, and with all deceivableness and of righteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. Right? People gonna be, they're gonna be all into this. All right. They're going to be ensnared by this shit, man. It says, and for this cause, Yahweh Shem Yahushai shall send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie, right? That they all might be damned who believe not in the truth, but have pleasure in unrighteousness. Whoo, man. This is about to get nuts. Right?
Yeah. So I think dependency like that is one of the reasons why I think some people might adamantly argue that they should get rights. Right now, they're not arguing that, but later when they get some very strong emotional bonds for them, then they'll say there shouldn't be these sorts of restrictions on AIs. And this will make us a lot less capable at managing what happens to us as a species. And before that,
what Ray said to me? Ray said to me, no, it's going to clear up all your brain space. So you'll be able to think, on deeper things. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's not.
The world
We're
moves
going
so
to play
quickly.
video games. Yeah.
Yeah, this place is cooked, man. So hey, you can watch the rest of that. That'd be it, man. Good video. All right. Just wanted to show you how real this artificial intelligence is. And this is like I said earlier, this is why the Spirit of the Lord has, the brothers to continue to harp on this topic, because this represents the end of Babylon, the end of the world, the end of Esau's world, man. All right. Remember, the Lord said in Romans that he raised up Pharaoh just to show who's really the true power, in the lack of better words, man. All right. So we're definitely entering into some very demonic times, man. But we're going to have ultimate faith to get through it. So that's pretty much it. Welcome to the 4th Industrial Revolution. This shit is about to get crazy. All right. You heard it, and you seen it, so, and we here. All right. So I pray that this, this lesson was edifying. I'm going to close out by giving all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who taught me this truth. And double salutations to all you Akim out there laboring in the house of David, the elect, that's pushing this word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom to you, brothers, and shalom to the elect. Shalom. Crazy, man. Oh, man.